So imagine that you have a toddler and your toddler is trying so hard to put pants on, but that is just not a skill that they've mastered yet. So, and you're watching them trying so hard to get their little foot into the pant leg hole and they can't do it. They're so aware of what they're trying to do and yet so aware that they aren't able to do it. And as the parent, you get to model reality, like what is actually happening. So I would want to mirror or like affirm my toddler's frustration, but at the same time, I wouldn't really get, there's no need to really enter the drama because you know who your toddler is and you know there's no problem, right? Like, there's no problem. Your toddler's just learning. I've realized lately that I really struggle to articulate myself well. And I struggle to articulate myself well because I believe that I'm someone who's not good at articulating myself. There's a fisherman watching me. I see you over there. But yeah, so I've realized that I have this belief about myself that I'm not good at articulating myself. And if you're putting two and two together, you can tell that I'm doing exposure therapy right now. And it's really uncomfortable. Um, because so often I have these great thoughts that are in my mind and I really, really struggle to speak. Like, I just cannot speak them. But there really is no difference between me and a toddler in that way. Like, the only difference is that I'm not giving myself space to learn. I am ultimately resisting the experience in front of me, which is I'm struggling to articulate myself, and that becomes something that is dysregulating to my nervous system, so I end up avoiding it. However, the thing that would make the most sense would be for me to give myself opportunities to create new neural pathways by means of expressing myself, articulating myself in ways that are satisfying to me. And so really it's just that is only going to take practice. So already I can change my belief. The old belief is I am not good at articulating myself, and the new belief is I am learning how to articulate myself. And to be honest, if you've ever seen a toddler getting frustrated by something that they can't do, um, it can get it's pretty intense, and it's just it's really hard to rewire certain things because you've been believing them for so long. Like, I could very well have started to believe that I am not good at articulating myself as a toddler. Like, that's when those sorts of thoughts can start. And then your life experience just continues to reaffirm that. But there, like, nothing is ever set in stone. I could, in 1 or 2 years, I could have a completely new way of relating to speaking. And this is only because I let myself form a new belief, which is that I'm learning. In a somewhat delusional sounding way, there's other things that I'm trying to heal in my life. And I've stopped identifying with being in a state of like trying to heal or like having that be so much of my focus. And instead, I have just started to reaffirm to myself my healing is inevitable. Like, that is genuinely what I believe. And it's taken off so much of a burden that I was carrying because I kept putting so much pressure on myself. The toddler image really just speaks to this idea that we don't, our primary caregivers completely shape our beliefs about the world because like, we're born with a completely separate reality than our parents. And when we're 2 years old, for example, screaming at the top of our lungs, extremely anxious because we can't get our pants on, we need our parents to model for us this like loving, compassionate space of, I know your reality is a little bit crazy right now, but mine isn't. And so you like invite them into that loving, you invite them into your reality. We don't give ourselves that same loving space that we would give a toddler. Well, I think I already said this. We don't give ourselves that space that we give our toddler, and we are absolutely deserving of that space. It doesn't matter what you are bad at or what the belief is. You can rewire it and you can have a new experience. Your lived reality can be completely different in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever. You can be that parent to yourself right now, no matter how old you are. And you can be that loving presence that gets to like absorb your younger self into a new bubble of existence, of reality. And so for me, in moments when I'm making this video and I'm struggling to articulate a thought, or I'm getting really stuck or starting to feel anxious, I'm trying to engage with a higher self, or whatever you want to call it, reparenting yourself, that is still, that is being someone outside of myself that's looking down at what I'm doing and smiling, right? Because it's not that serious. I'm just trying to articulate myself. Home to see her mama and her daddy with the baby in the backseat. 50 miles to go and she long hard year. This song changed my brain chemistry as a child. She had a lot on her mind and she didn't see